Hi BookTube, it's Amy. I thought I would pop in with a book haul video here. Ontario has been out of lockdown for about a month now, but today was really the first day I ventured out much of anywhere, and I got myself a haircut for the first time in a year. In fact, I was looking at my calendar in my phone from last March, and it was literally a year to the day that I had gotten my previous haircut. And of course, I went through the first and the second wave, not bothering to venture out to get a haircut. But I said, you know what, let's go out, get this cut, get all this weight cut off, go back to a more comfortable length, just in case we go back into lockdown again. And sort of near where I get my hair cut is a bookstore, Black Squirrel Books, and so I went in and they even double bagged my haul for me, and I walked back home with it, and I thought I would pull out the books here and show them to you. So I did find a couple from their dollar shelf. This one is water damaged, stained on the outside, but 99 cents for The Years by Virginia Woolf in the Hogarth Press edition. I thought that was a pretty good deal. And you open it up and it's not damaged at all. On the inside, the text block is completely readable, quite sound. It's just the spine that has a water stain on it. So for 99 cents, that is a fantastic deal. And Virginia Woolf is an author that I've wanted to get into reading more of, and I did read a couple of her works last year, one of them being part of her journal, but I haven't really bought much else by her, just because when I find those works secondhand, they tend to be more on the expensive side of things, and I haven't really come across any editions that are still in print that I like. And so she hasn't really been a priority, but for 99 cents, I couldn't really say no. And I've just got a little Molson Canadian going right here. So the second book I have here is Mrs. Miniver by Jan Struther. This was also on their dollar shelf. No dust jacket. Somebody's put their signature twice in the front here, but for $1, I was intrigued enough to grab this 1942 printing. And there is a film based on this novel that was made during the Second World War, and I remember watching it as a teenager and quite liking it and finding it quite emotionally moving, which is why when I saw this, which I didn't even know it was based on a novel, when I saw this novel, I thought, okay, for $1, I definitely want to revisit this story, find out how the novel compares to the movie, and maybe I'll even revisit the movie after this. Nope, those are from Shoppers Drug Mart. I got birthday cards for people while I was out as well. And here's one that I paid $10 for to add to my W. Somerset Maugham collection. And this is Cosmopolitans. And I was most drawn to this book by this gorgeous gold embossed spine here. And it is a collection of short stories that I'm fairly certain I already own in my complete collection of W. Somerset Maugham's short stories that I have in a Penguin box set of 3 paperbacks. But I sort of have a little collection going of pretty nice looking older editions of Maugham novels, and I couldn't resist adding this to my collection as well. I'm going to skip that one and show you the other Maugham book first. So this is Ashendon, or The British Agent, which is one I'm not familiar with. That one was $8.99. A little more beat up than I would like, but I grabbed this one on the basis that it's one I haven't come across before and one that I haven't read yet. Copyright 1927. This appears to be a 1941 printing, potentially. And the preface here is quite interesting. I read it while I was in the bookstore. It's founded on his experiences in the intelligence department during the First World War. And he's rearranged it for the purposes of fiction. Or so the preface says. Whether that's, actually based too much in truth or mostly in fiction, I'm not sure. I would have to do a little bit more research to determine that. But another W. Somerset Maugham to add to my shelf. And then I have Call No Man Happy by Andre Morose, a French author, translated into English. Not entirely sure what's going on the back of the book here. Something has gotten stuck on there, some paper of some sort at some point. This one has a nice Christmas dedication in the front, gifted to someone on Christmas Day 1944. And Andre Morose is an author who's been on my list to pick up and read at some point. And I am quite fond of these particular editions with the colorful blocks on the spines. And I do believe these books came with dust jackets at some point, but most of the dust jackets are going to be gone by the time you find them. The Reprint Society of London, and this book was produced in conformity with the authorized economy standards. So we have that fun little logo on the inside there. No idea what this one is about, so that'll be a surprise when I do get around to reading that. And then I just have two more right here. One is a book by Mary Beard titled Confronting the Classics, Traditions, Adventures, and Innovations. And it looks like what she's going to do is examine why the classics should be read and perhaps some of the issues they bring to light when we look at them from a contemporary standpoint. And so the dust jacket flap says, Mary Beard is one of the world's best known classicists, a brilliant academic with a rare gift for communicating with a wide audience through her witty and contrarian blog and her fearless and penetrating reviews. In Confronting the Classics, Beard draws on 30 years of teaching and writing about Greek and Roman history to provide a panoramic portrait of the classical world that offers invaluable insight and draws surprising parallels with contemporary society, making the archaic seem accessible and relevant. And as I was flipping through this in the shop, I noticed the chapter headings are based on the works of classical authors. So we have a chapter called Sappho Speaks, Which Thucydides Can You Trust? Alexander How Great? What Made the Greeks Laugh? Hannibal at Bay? Roman Art Thieves? And Spinning Caesar's Murder, and so on. And as someone who's become somewhat interested in the classics over the past year or two, I thought this might be a fun nonfiction read for me. And then I have one more here, and this is one that is actually new. So Black Squirrel Books is a used bookstore, but in recent months, I've noticed they started to bring in a small stock of new books. And so their price here, I guess, was $12. I think that's what I paid for that. Yep, I paid $12 for this book, which is actually better than I thought, because in the shop I didn't notice the sticker on the back. And I just opened it up thinking it would be the $33 cover price, but that's great that I got it for $12. And this is called The Enchanted Hour, The Miraculous Power of Reading Aloud in the Age of Distraction by Megan Cox Gurdon. And I like to read aloud. I like to be read aloud to. I like to read aloud to other people, and sometimes I like to read aloud to myself And so this looks like quite a fun book to dig into. It says that Gurdon shows how reading out loud is a fast working antidote to the fractured attention spans, atomized families, and unfulfilling distractions of the tech era. From a thrilling look at what happens in a toddler's brain when a grown-up reads a story, to the way shared books are keeping far-flung military families connected. From the imaginative transport of classic novels to the rejuvenating late-life consolations of poetry and prose, the evidence is clear and the benefits are irrefutable. Taking us into hospitals, homes, bookstores, and schools, Gurdon blends cutting-edge science with funny, touching stories of real families, including her own in a compelling testament to the power of what Charles Dickens called the spoken syllable. Lively and authoritative with practical tips and reading recommendations, the Enchanted Hour will inspire readers to share this invaluable, life-altering tradition with the people they love most and perhaps rediscover an enchanted slice of their own childhoods in the process. And so this sounds like quite a fun read, and if it's any good, something to add to my collection of books about books. And the original publication date for this one was 2019. So that is my little book haul here. Probably the only book haul I'm going to do for several months, because I haven't been reading a lot of books so far this year. I had a really good reading streak in the first week or two of January, and then I was back into the reading slump that had caught up to me late last year. And it's less about finding the motivation to read and more about finding the concentration and attention span to read. But hopefully some of these books I picked up are going to spark back that concentration and renew that motivation. And I'll be back here on BookTube soon with some more bookish content.